Good morning, everybody. This is a national public statement. It's a humanitarian presumption of death. Missing migrant vessel from Jinnik Island, the Gambia, issued by myself at the African Migration Advisory Centre, Banjul. Today we speak with a heavy heart. The first statement we make today concerns the missing migrant vessel that departed from the shores of Jinnik Island, here in the Gambia, on the 17th of November 2025. The vessel carried approximately 119 men, women and children. Today, the African Migration Advisory Centre confirms that the following: a careful humanitarian and technical assessment. The migrant vessel that left Jinnik Island on the 17th of November 2025 is humanitarianly presumed lost at sea without any survivors. As of today, 5th January 2026, a total of 49 days have elapsed. Since this vessel departed from the Gambia for 49 days, waited. They have listened for phones to ring. They have lived in silence and in pain. During this entire period, there have been no distress signals, no sightings, no confirmed interceptions, and no verified landings recorded by regional or international maritime authorities. Despite active monitoring and establishing search and rescue systems operating across the wider Atlantic Ocean, the vessel involved was an open wooden fishing boat powered by an outboard engine attempting the Atlantic crossing towards the Canary Islands. Based on the available evidence, there is no medical, scientific, or operational plausible scenario under which any person on this vessel could survive. The humanitarian determination is grounded in a documented fact-based technical assessment. That assessment examines the vessel type, engine and fuel capacity, water availability, human survival limits at sea, Atlantic drift patterns at complete absence of distress alerts, signals, interceptions or landings across a regional and international search and rescue system of over 49 days per period. This determination is made solely for humanitarian reasons. It is not political, it assigns no blame, it replaces no legal processes. It is made to give families truth, clarity, and dignity. It allows families to mourn without uncertainty, to acknowledge loss without doubt, and to be treated with humanity and respect. Should any remains are ever recovered in the future, the humanitarian determination in no way prevents identification, investigation, or justice. Today, we stand with the families of Jinnik. We honour them who never returned, and we reaffirm that every life lost at sea matters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adrian. Now, I call on Ibrahima Zame.
Thank you so much. My name is Ibrahim Drame, known as Ibrahim Migration Situation. Today we present a clear narrative on evolution of irregular migration from the Gambia, describing how it has changed over time, why it declined during period of transition and hope, and why in 2025 it has reached a level of losses that constitute a humanitarian emergency. Regular migration during the Jammeh era, during the rules of Yahya Jammeh in 1994 and 2017, the Gambia lived under a regime many Gambians sought regular migration pathway due to the political repression, limited opportunity, fear of the regime. Regular migration often took lands and Mediterranean routes. Smugglers were active, but departures were less maritime focused. Despite significant departure, there was no contains partners of the entire Gambian boat disappear at sea. Dead occupied, but we are not in the sail currently being witnesses. This era saw regular migrations as a response to system political, and the era saw regular migration as a response to a systematical political and economic pressure, both which few Gambians lost without trace at the sea. The Libyan war and the Mediterranean routes after the 2021 conflict in Libya, regular migration dramatically shifted. Libya became a major transit hub for migration attempting to reach the European via the Central Mediterranean. Smuggling network expand across the West Africa and the North Africa. Many Gambians, alongside other nationalities, attempted the Mediterranean crossing. This journey were dangerous and climbing life, but the departures were regional rather than concentrated from the Gambian coast. The deaths were spread across the nationalities and not unique disadvantage of the one small nation. The Libyan era made Europe seem reachable but did not yet trigger mass departure directly from Gambian. The pandemic impact and the dip in the departures. The global COVID-19 pandemic 2020-2021 introduced a new dramatical border close travel because more difficulties, economic and social disputes were whispering. Many Gambian youths reported reduced intention to migrate in the period due to the movement restriction and the height. During this pandemic, regular migration across the region, including from West African, declined significantly, reflecting a push in the migration movement rather than a change in motivation. Democratic and transition and hopes. In 2017, following the departure of the former President Yahya Jammeh in 2017, the Gambia entered a period of democratic transition under the President Adama Barrow. During this transition, the hope of the democratic government and opportunity increased. Many Gambians believed change would bring stability and job. Regular migration departure declined comparing to the peak of the Jammeh era. In the early Mediterranean, the young people expressed renewing confidence and domestic progress rather than living. For several years, this sense of hope and improvement, governments were associated with a dip in regular migration departure. Why 2025 is different, the humanitarian emergency. In 2025, regular migration has reached an unprecedented humanitarian crisis for the Gambia. The crisis is driven by misinformation spread on social media, especially on TikTok, spreading Europe as easy to reach, and the life abroad are currently succeeded. Young Gambians living without telling their families out of fear of being stopped. Narrative from abroad about through social media or particular accounts from detention, hiding, hardship, deportation, and death, increasing activities of smuggling networks targeting Gambian youths with dangerous promises. Confirmed human losses. This one I'm coming for it. This is very important. Last year we have been given lots of, I think, 1,600 Gambian streets. This year we cover 893 Gambians dead from January on the 1st to December 31st. December 31st, 893 Gambians has lost their life. 840 die in the sea. 53 die on the land. 26 migrant boats disappear without any trace. These 26 boats, Gambians are part of these 26 boats. We have 70 migrant boats that disappeared this year, 2025, through Spain, this route to Spain. But we have 2 Gambian boats that disappear on the 5th of December from Gambia in Jinek. On the 17th of November also disappear from December Jinek. The total we have is like 72 boats has disappeared in totally 2025. Both from Gambia, Senegal, Mauritania, and other places. But those 72 boats, there are 26 boats. Gambians are part of those people. 730 Gambians or die missing in the sea, 74 missing on the land. Last year, I think we have like 500 people who die in the sea. 1 second, because I want to compare these things. Last year and this year, what we have. 1 second, sorry, I apologize though. I have to look this thing clearly though. Okay. These 26 migrant boats, there were 730 Gambian migrants who are part of those. The 26 boats, these 26 boats, some boats departed from Gambia here, some departed from Senegal, some departed from Morocco, some departed from Mauritania, and some departed from Algeria. 730 people, 30 migrants, those are the Gambians we get information. 74 people of this there are another 74 missing in the land. Those who are missing in the Sahara Desert, or they have other people like in Tunisia, Libya, and other places. We have a number of 777 Gambian in 2025. 173 Gambian migrants arrived in Europe. 6,173 Gambians who arrived in Europe in 2025. 6,173 Gambian. In Spain, we have 111 different boats that arrive. Gambians are part of those boats. 111 boats that Gambians are part of it. Those boats departed from Algeria, Mauritania, Morocco, Senegal, Guinea-Conakry, and Gambia here. A total of 5,119 Gambians has arrived in Spain. 5,119 Gambians has arrived in Spain. 170 different boats from various countries. This one in Spain, the 2025 alone, they have more than 170 different migrant boats that arrived there from different countries in the sub-region here. In Libya, there are Gambians who also departed from Libya and Tunisia who arrived in 52 different migrant boats, total 1,054 Gambians that arrived in Italy in 2025. These 1,054 Gambians, 52 different boats, 17 boats departed from Tunisia, the remaining ones departed from in Libya. As I'm speaking, on the 17th of this month, 17th of November, a migrant boat departed from Guinea with more than 190 people on this boat. Another second boat departed on the 5th of December with more than 200,000 people. 200 people in this boat, both women and children. On the 17th boat, we make inquiry on this boat. We following this boat and say more than 1 month. We were trying to find the location of this boat. But at the end, we have perplexed the boat. The boat has sunk. We believe 100% though, this boat had sunk. On the 5th of December boat also, there are 200 people missing. We're still trying to verify this boat, and we are still doing our best to work with our colleagues, other humanitarian boats in Mauritania, Senegal, Mali, Morocco, Spain, everywhere we can have access, everywhere, to discuss with these people, to give them the information about this boat. But still now, we couldn't have more information about this boat. Before the end of this week, inshallah, we'll come out with something. We'll tell the family about this boat. In 2025, 8,284 Gambian migrants were intercepted, about 45 different migrant boats. This intercepted was followed by 11 migrant boats was intercepted in Gambia here, 18 intercepted in Senegal, 9 intercepted in Mauritania, 7 intercepted in Morocco. 5,749 Gambian migrants were deported or voluntarily returned by themselves. 5,749 Gambians were deported or voluntarily returned by themselves back in Gambia from January to December 31st. In 2025, 69 migrant boats departed from Gambian shores here. Of these, 24 migrant boats arrived in Spain, while 45 migrants intercepted. This is not a valid data from the IOM or from the immigration or from the Gambia Red Cross. These are our own data. We normally have these data as every day we connect with the migrant themselves, direct connection with them. Every day they left, we understand this. Every day they left, we get information. When we get the information, we try it and record this information. And every year we record this information. When we record the information, at the end of year, we publish this. Last year I was not in the country, but we have sharing this information with the all the social media houses, I believe so. Okay. In 2025, 3,090 people has died through Spanish border due to lack of protection of their life, increases long and dangerous routes. Mortality rate increased significantly in the area of Algeria, like 121 tragedy happening in Algerians way, those who departed from Algeria. Last year it was Mauritania. Last year alone, I think we have 130 something disasters from Mauritania, Senegal. But this year, Algeria is the most. The total number of the victims wrote in this is 1,037, double to the record of last year in 2024. A total missing boat passengers was 47 visual that disappear, and the Algerian routes, like we can say 67% of the boats that have problem this year are all departed from Algerian. 3 days ago, I was in Facebook, I write something. I was speaking with some Gambian, these are 18 Gambians who departed last week from Algeria in the sea. Still now, we don't have any information with these people. And we believe so they are not alive anymore, because in Algeria, you cannot depart from Algeria to Lanzarote and other places more than 1 week. And they don't have that kind of fuel. They don't have the water. Last week, these 18 people, they departed in Algeria, inside the capital, Algeria. Still now, there is no hope. We don't have any hope on it. These are all Gambians. They are 18 in number. They are all Gambians. So this year, about 67% of those people who have problems in the sea normally are all coming out from Algerian side. In 2025 also, in 2025, for 192 women, 437 children arrived in Quetta, those normally who departed from Morocco. In 24, you can say 24% of those. The victim children and teenagers, the people are from 30 different countries who lost their life in the ship. But today we are not concentrate on those 30 countries. We are concentrated in the Gambia here. The Gambians who lost their life in the ship. In January 1st to January 31st in 2025, we have 1,865 Gambian migrants who just died in the ship. That is just from January to on the 31st of May. So, but from May to come to June, July, it's go very low. From August, September, October, it always it was low also. But from November, December, there was another biggest disasters. Normally from our Gambia here. As we last week, we all know Commando Fronteras in Spain, they published it. In this, I think last week they make a publication on this. About 3,000 lives was lost, with 70 migrant boats disappear without any trace of this. Last year, we have 3 migrant boats that disappear from Gambia here, one from Khartoum, I don't believe on the 17th of November, October, 19 November, it disappeared from Khartoum. On the 14th, also another boat disappeared from, I think, Gunjur. Last year, we have like 3 migrant boats that disappeared totally without no information up to today. This year, we have only 2 boats from on the 17th and on the 17th of October, on the 9th and on the 5th of December. In Spain, what we understand here, this in Spain, 30,692 people have arrived in Spain. Last week, the Interior Minister has given. There were 34,251 migrants. 30 of them, 30,692 arrived by sea. 1,154 with small boats or canoes, normally coming out from Gambia, Senegal, Mauritania. 29.2% decrease on this last year. was too much people that came. This was caused by many problems through in Senegal. There was a political problems in Senegal, Mali, Burkina Faso, Guinea Conakry. But this year, what we understand is that 30,692 arrival in Spain through Kenos. In Baltic Island, also the arrival was declined. This we have 453 in October to 408 in November. Yet the total arrival of the year reaching 6,688, represented like 28.3% compared to 2024. Arrival by the sea, mainland Spain decreased from 740 in October to 574 in November, and the annual total fell by 8.7% from 7,855 in 2024 to 7,167 in 2025. The cities arrival by sea were very limited, 5 in Quito, 25 in Melina. In land, arrival increased with 3,268 enter in Quito, like 39.4% increase. 291 to Melina, represented like 221.9% increase compared to 2024. The irregular migration uploaded 94% migrant enter in Spain through regular channel, according to the Spanish Commission of Refugees. Between 70% to 80% of those arrival in 2024 apply asylum and conflict position, violence on serious human rights violation. According to UNHCR, 31st August, 400 people died in Canary Island routes, 216 attempted to reach mainland Spain in Baltic Island. 89.88% of young undocumented migrants arrive in Spain are African originated from these countries. Morocco have 59.16% arrival. Gambia is the second with 15.47%. Algeria is 9.72%. Senegal is 5.59%. Guinea Conakry is 2.99%. In Italy, migrant arrival declined this by 0.48% in 2025, according to the Interior Ministry. In last week, a total of 66,296 regular migration arrived by sea, certainly fewer than 66,617 recorded in 2024, and represented a 57.59 decrease compared to 2023, when 157,651 arrival were recorded. By countries of origin, Algeria 1,812 arrival by 31% increase in 2024 and 192.3% increase in 2025. Tunisia 4,841,000 arrival, like 71.5% decrease from 2024, and in 95% decrease. From 2023, Libya 84,408 arrival, 38.1% increase from 2024 and 12.4% increase from 2023. In Italy, Gambians, many Gambians who arrived in Italy this past years from normally in Tunisia and Libya. But as we all know, there are a lot of pushback in Italy now. In Tunisia, the debate in Tunisia is very difficult now to debate there. And as we all know, we always public in Tunisia. National the Coast Guard in Libya. We ask, for me, I call them as the so-called guard, because these are the decent people. We pay them to transport us, and these are the decent people who go and pick our boat and kill a lot of people and return them, put them in prison. So this year, Gambian is very low in Gambia. Last year we have like 6,000 Gambians who crossed from Libya to Tunisia to enter in Italy, but this year we have 1,054 Gambians who arrive in Italy. This is what I have for you for now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ibrahim Drame, for the statistic. Before we move to the final statement from the organizing institution, I would call on Uncle Madi Jobate to give a statement.
Good afternoon. This is a statement from the Edward Francis Moore Center for Rights and Justice. We express our profound grief and condolences to the families of the youth who lost their lives in the recent Bagway tragedy of the coast of Guinea, and indeed all other cases. And we wish to those who were rescued also to have speedy and full recovery. The persistent occurrence of these dangerous and deadly journeys reflect a deep and a long-standing malaise afflicting Gambian society. While EF Small Center considers the backway to be unsafe, dangerous, and unacceptable, and therefore urges young people to refrain from undertaking it, we cannot ignore the structural conditions that have sustained this phenomenon for decades. Migration is a human right. However, when migration by any means becomes a widespread preoccupation driven by desperation and the search for greener pastures, it raises serious socio-economic and governance questions that require honest, direct, and sustained national conversation. The backway did not emerge in isolation. Rather, it arose as a response to deep deprivation, limited opportunities, and persistent hardship within the country. It is important to recognize that both the unskilled, undereducated, poorly paid, and underprivileged, as well as the highly educated, skilled, and relatively privileged Gambians seek to leave the Gambia, albeit through different routes. What unites them is not mindset or attitude, rather, the dire socio-economic conditions and limited prospects at home. Therefore, the core issue is not whether migration occurs through the front way or the back way, but the conditions that justify and fuel these journeys. At the same time, EF Small Center emphasizes that while it raises serious concerns about both regular and irregular migration, particularly the loss of life and the accelerating brain drain, it is also an established and undeniable fact that migrants play a critical role in sustaining the Gambian economy. Remittances sent by Gambians in the diaspora account for more than 30% of the country's GDP. These remittances support households, they finance education and healthcare, and sustain small businesses and cushion families against economic shocks. This reality exposes a fundamental structural contradiction. While the state benefits immensely from migration generated income, it has failed to create comparable opportunities at home that would allow citizens to live with dignity without risking their lives or being forced to leave the country. The F Small Center also acknowledges that the vast majority of Gambian youth remain in the country, working diligently as carpenters, fisherfolk, taxi drivers, market vendors, plumbers, engineers, farmers, artisans, and professionals across multiple sectors. Yet, even among those who are working, frustration persists due to low incomes, rising living costs, limited social mobility, and weak public services. Alarmingly, we have observed that workers from the formal sector, including civil servants, security officers, and private sector employees, are also abandoning their jobs to embark on the back way, underscoring the depth of the national crisis. The Small Center therefore notes that as long as a viable economic, socio-economic conditions and effective governance remain absent, both regular and irregular migration will continue leading to loss of life, depletion of human capital, and severe national loss. In all scenarios, the Gambia loses immensely. For this reason, EF Small Center for Rights and Justice calls on the government, its development partners, civil society organizations, and the private sector to jointly design and implement robust, sustainable, innovative, and effective measures that expand and employment opportunities, improve incomes, ensure access to quality goods and services, and promote shared prosperity. 60 years after independence, national development remains largely ad hoc, disjointed, and weak. In many instances, relevant policies either do not exist or are poorly implemented, resulting in minimal impact. Public institutions continue to underperform, delivering inefficient and low quality services without accountability. Budgetary allocations to the youth sector remain disproportionately low, leaving key institutions such as the National Youth Service Scheme, the National Youth Council, President's International Award, National Enterprise Development Initiative, and others chronically underfunded, centralized around the Greater Banjul area, and largely absent from rural and provincial communities. Across sectors, critical to youth development, education, skills training, sports, tourism, performing arts, entrepreneurship, and technology, there is a glaring absence of national infrastructure to sustain continuous programming and long-term interventions. This reality is reflected in the government's own 2025 labor survey, which indicates that 41% of Gambian youth are not in education, employment, or training, highlighting the severe inadequacy of opportunities and resources available to young people. EF Small Center is firmly of the view that the lasting solution to the backway lies in strong, coordinated, and sustained government intervention that deliberately links education and skills training to the real economy. This requires genuine political will to formulate the right policies and ensure their efficient, accountable, and committed implementation. We further recommend the establishment of a national commercial or development finance institution capable of providing accessible low-interest capital to qualified youth entrepreneurs. In addition, we call for increased funding, expansion, decentralization, and operational strengthening of youth development institutions, including the NYSS, PIA, and related bodies. The Gambia possesses immense potential and opportunities to create an enabling environment for youth development and shared prosperity. The challenge is not that young people are lazy or believe success is only possible abroad. Rather, the challenge lies in the failure of successive governments to accurately diagnose the problem and respond with coherent, comprehensive, and effective solutions. For far too long, policy responses have been piecemeal and ineffective. The time has come for a decisive change of course. In the interim, EF Small Center calls on the government to ensure effective surveillance and policing of Gambian waters to prevent, detect, and apprehend illegal migrant boats and their operators. It is inexcusable that despite the presence of the police and the Navy, such boats continue to evade detection. EF Small Center further calls for thorough investigations and the prosecution of all perpetrators involved in organizing and facilitating these deadly journeys. We remain committed to advocating for policies, institutions, and governance systems that place human dignity, opportunity, accountability, and justice at the center of national development. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Uncle Madi of the Edward Francis Small Center for Rights and Justice, for that statement. I now call on Mr. Sidi Sedikan, the founder of We Migrants Germany, to deliver a statement.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Brahma, colleagues. Thank you, Madi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. So today I'm not just speaking for the only the public, but also for the local community. Madi Umeman Jibekan Dawoda Albadi Malam Sidi Shedikan. I'm the founder of We Migrants, the founder of What's on Italy, the FORS European page, basically on migration and information website. I think Ibrahim could be one of those people who were helping me before he will create this website. So I think I know also more about such tragedies happening in our community. But today I'm not sitting here with statistics, I'm here with pain. And in recent days, we see that young Gambians, our brothers and sisters, sons and daughters have died on the journey to Europe, not only in Tunisia, but also in our own country, in our own community. We see that some of them drowned in the sea, some disappeared in the desert, and some died quietly, far from home, with grief, without any farewell to their family and their friends. Families are still waiting with phone calls that will never come. They're waiting, hoping, and still some don't believe that their children perish in the Mediterranean Sea or the Sahara Desert. These were not criminals. These were not lazy people, and they were not foolish people. They were young people chasing dignity, survival, and also hope. Because everyone who flee your country, and there is always a reason for that person to flee his or her country. And let's all speak the truth. The hard truth about this issue. No one choose death, and no one among them choose to escape. And when death becomes part of the journey, it means something is deeply wrong at home and deeply crucial on the road. But we have to talk about the crucial problem in our community, in our country, because basically everybody is making a statement. And I want to say to the community, to our family members, to know the real truth about this journey. Myself, I'm a victim. I experienced this. I went through this journey. I took this route to Libya and I flee from Gambia to Europe. najira menka keje and mumul me alan ko accident so local speaking local language because I want our people to know we are speaking to them directly. I think this is one thing that is missing. We have to know that medical shirin bunko le ban jibe kan yenda lo ko membe caring na gambe banko kan anu falang in our community. In back way na lo ko jama be intershifal we have the privilege be matamadulato but we want to tell you the hard fact wala tinna ka tanda lo ko in silo alkamo nyaming abe nyaming iman killing. The traffickers will lie to you. They will tell you what you want to hear. But the hard fact is 7 days in this journey is like sacrificing 80% of your life. I'll be very, very, very honest to you guys. So nal nimbal mel serious wokono. Yal dion kala ko mbako dojo. So ko mol me yalan ko ika kodojo ini la family be ika dindi mero de nano sungul dindi mero kamande mero family numero iko ka kulungo jo because you believe tako ni na family be kada kada tuba budule gon kada min kada ni ndro leje nyum fra leje don fare abanta. All these things pains me because I know and I knew and I see when people are taking this journey na mo jël melen ko yebu fankan jiyo kono yebu fankan kulun kono kato nyala falide na mo jël melen ko bi sahara disa kono yesumne yemin la sumna la pour ka jiyo so memminna o nyaata ko mbato nyaafala bi I want to say this because nanyolu banyolu wala ke jungul ke puska fay ko alen tamashilota pour alen bondi ko lel kono bar nyaajo fala mbakela bi because of community, memento society, the government have to speak out. They have to speak about this because this is a tragedy. And Alaji saying Gambia is a center where people will come and pay money to travel to Europe. This is not only about the families, it's about our country. And we have to speak it. Well, I don't know if kamfo o ka angal mafo at fair I'll have to say the truth. No one chooses that, like I said. Our mothers in the Gambias are burying their dreams instead of children. Fathers are crying in silence. Mfanyo wakumboka duma halatara ko almaji to banyishi na bungo de killing wakumbola lungolung. This is something me alonko. It is hurting me. Yesterday I was speaking to some of my family members and bani a story for long. So when I said share some small story to them, all of them, some of them were crying. My mother start asking me, "Amanjere continue," because at this one of the heart is paining her just to hear what I went through. So we come more to Babudu and Yinenka in the truth. This is the reason why na program like I've made the back way kacha. I bring influencers, celebrities, Gambian big names, people like
we are all frustrated right now. And what I'm seeing, if there's no changes, I think that we just still have a stand as a man. God is there. God is there for us. We'll still, bust up the road again and see what God will do.
Last year, the International Organization of Migration repatriated nearly 2,500 Gambians. Some of them received funding for education and business startups. But the agency is unable to.
If you go to YouTube, you listen to those people. Atangila ko mo kulun ko miyan ko anin denu a wulu to kulun ko dolbe je yebu la kulun ko ayo la mo la hani. I've seen people who are successful in Tubabu but nyela story for ye mem pass e dumuli wulu dumuli la brother soul they won't allow them to take this story. So this is a true fact about this journey. So ko mo me yalon ko il wara wala batar jiyo ko kulun ko intel kilin to telefona mfrato telefona mo ko Ibrahim can be there as a and what I hear today from Ibrahim, it pains me. Yet the journey continues from the Gambia. Why? Because poverty sounds louder than warnings. Because unemployment pushes harder than fair than Gambia Bangkoka. And this, Nyaman settled, it will be very, very hard for us to fight for this. But we have to say the truth. Because hope and even false hope can be stronger than reasons. So Gambia funding call they don't believe Gambia anymore. And this is really, really bad for our country. But now we need you, the media. We need the media because we must say the clear and honest truth today. The back way is a lie. It promised life, but it delivers death. Nintamashilo Borinyama. Karabafale Gondula Tuabudu. Nimo Chemenatara. Tanano Bebande Fanyininka. Last year in 2021, I was sent by the German Foreign Office, to deliver, to sensitize. So we went to 3 countries, Ghana, Gambia. I understand. But when I came here, what did I do? We went to schools, we went to community level to tell you guys, but smart migration is important. Before you travel to you need to know banku nyadi lemo yemine expect ka long banku nyinto you don't just go ila karemo karbo tuba bu la story la mfana ngara banku na kulu ngala dun kulu kono This is something we should know. Ntafa moyo kwa kanta because I went through the same. But nyata ko imo mote mi alanko ne kan hanan jaw mba fa ko nyibe la moy lañ kala ñu mbako ta man jarala. Of course ñu do tubabu do. But mo ba tubabu do bi e me fan na fano e me ba na fano e me fa na fano. Yenyi silota ka bi fata e nyaalu mata e ko dul ta nyokolo dol be je bi wolu ital fesate wolti jang. So we have to tell our people the hard fact. But also, hey, mome ala mo kanu. Aliaje member kere mo member fakan is too much. Ibrahim statistics member for jang. How many boats are missing? 26 boats with Gambians. More than 700 of Gambians are missing. Thousands of Gambians are dead at Paris. This is something that we should take very seriously. I am a 2 times award winner. I'm a migrant activist. Basically, when I came here, Ibrahim told me about this. I was like, Ibrahim, anytime. But the reason why I'm here, because I don't want to come, but in non member seating, Jibe can, Walanya Nalona, Musokomomi Alon, Wakain Silota. I beg, I urge each and every one of you, we have to play impact. Each and every one of you, the media personnel, brothers and sisters, we have to sensitize the community too. But the government also have to play an impact. Ita funding ko kordatio, nyaja banko, ila korda ko mamaw ba jamiya ngo mberia. You have to stand up and speak and talk because they want to hear from you. Your children want to hear from you. Kordatio nyaja amta, they give hope to kids. So I'm urging each and every one of you. This is my statement for you. Many of our brothers and sisters, children, the most vulnerable in our community are dying. So this is the hard fact from me, and this is the first time telling you go. I'm telling you, if you go to my YouTube channel, you will see people telling you their stories more year long. But your main face in Shilo Kanya Foye, it in Shilo Mala. So I know there is possibility for us to, achieve our goals here. And Hanibita Tamashiloka, please do it. If you're gonna make a decision, make it by yourself. Kana demosika, kana musosika, ale Tamashiloka. You believe for 99% ko, it's a lie. So therefore, I thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sidi Sedikan. Now we move to the final statement from the organizing institutions by Mr. Adrian Corris of the African Migration Center.
Operation Prevention First, a humanitarian response to the humanitarian emergency. The Gambia is facing a national humanitarian emergency driven by irregular migration. Thousands of young Gambians have died, gone missing, or remain unaccounted for on the Atlantic routes. Criminal smuggling networks are selling the journey to Spain and the Gran Canaries as an 8-day boat trip, deliberately hiding the truth. The Atlantic route is one of the most dangerous migration routes on Earth, where survival depends on water, fuel, and chance. Scale of the crisis. These gangs make 14 to 17 million Gambian dollars per boat, approximately 200,000 to 250,000 US dollars on each overloaded canoe. By deceiving families, exploiting at present, prevention in the Gambia is effectively zero, while criminal networks operate freely along the shoreline. If this continues, more Gambians will be lost to the sea, and pressure on Spain, particularly in the Gran Canaries, will continue to rise. Until systems are overwhelmed, prevention is better than cure. The solution, prevention first. Stopping deportees at source saves lives, reduces arrivals, and shuts down the criminal networks profiting from deception and death. This approach protects young lives, restores state control, and prevents a deepening humanitarian disaster on both sides of the Atlantic. This is the solution. Spain's role, this is a formal invitation to Spain. Spain is already a frontline humanitarian responder. along the Atlantic route. Spanish naval and rescue services, particularly in the Gran Canaries, are bearing a sustained humanitarian burden caused by deportees, organising far up beyond Spanish waters. Under Operation Prevention First, Spain is respectfully invited to build upon its existing presence and experience by joining a Gambian-led preventive humanitarian operation focused on saving lives before boats leave for open sea. Spain's operational contribution. Within a Gambian sovereign command structure, Spain would work closely and operationally with forces already on the ground, including Gambian Navy, Gambian Immigration, Gambian Police Force, Gambian Armed Forces. Spanish naval intelligence and technical teams would provide support, expertise, and capacity to assist joint operations. To dismantle organized smuggling networks operating along the shoreline, reclaim and secure known departure hotspots, strengthen coordinate coastal river and sea patrols, support lawful controls on fishing vessels and outboard engines, assist in regulating the monitoring of PMS fuel supplies, ensuring fuel is used strictly for legitimate fishing needs. Preventive impact. This cooperation represents a shift from reactive rescue to preventive life-saving cutting of boats, fuel, routes, and profits before departure. Spain's long-standing expertise in counter-smuggling operations and maritime coordination and humanitarian rescue makes it a natural and valued partner. We formally and respectfully invite Spain to participate in this operation of Prevention First as a partner in prevention, protection, and shared responsibility. Conclusion. Operation Prevention First recovers the profit and logistics that make smuggling possible by reclaiming shorelines, controlling vessels and fuel, and acting before departure. The Gambian protects life, sovereignty, and its future, while erasing dangerous pressures on Spain. Prevention is better than cure. Detailed technical and operational plans are available on request. Thank you.
So before we move to the question and answer, I would like to recognize the voice of Gambian youth and creativity. It is my honor to introduce Miss Awa Kamara, a young author and poet, and the writer of the book, The Dream Chaser. The Dream Chaser is a work that speaks directly to hope, resilience, and the aspirations of young people navigating difficult realities. Awa will now recite a poem reflecting the dreams, pain, and the strength of our generation. Please join me in welcoming Awa Kamara.
Imagine a heart full of dreams, a soul full of hopes, not for luxury, but to survive. These were the words of our lost brothers and sisters. Good day to you all. I am Awa Kamara, and this piece is dedicated to the lost brothers and sisters in the sea. And here it is. Few weeks ago, we lost sons of this land, brothers of this soil. They walked through burning desert, not for greed, but to survive. They believe Europe will give them a life. But now the sea carries their names, and silence carries their pain. Suñuy doom, suñuy mag ak suñuy rakk yi, ndox ba jël na leen, lu metti ba ñépp di ko waxantoo. Mama still stands at the door. She listened to footsteps, hoping her child will knock once more, but only the waves return. No hope, no voice, only dreams swallowed by the sea. Nani mfal ba kumbola, katu idingo tutabako. Banko bele sunuta, nyinkuo dimin na fangole warta. This is a wake-up call. To the government, our youths are dying, chasing hopes. Invest in them, build opportunities, listen to their cries, and stand for them, not just empty promises. To the youths, your future is not buried in foreign lands. Believe in yourself, work hard, and be patient. You know, the sea was the same journey our ancestors take, with chains and pains and a heartbroken heart. But today, our youth still emerge in this journey willingly, but yet enslaved with poverty. And this journey must end. Thank you all.